Okay, we are live. Welcome everybody to the Node.js security meeting. Um, as usual, before start, does anybody have any announcement? Maybe Node.js 24 has been released, and Node.js 23 will go end of life uh, at end of this month. So if you are using 23, please upgrade or go to Node.js 22 for LTS. Um, as usual, we go to the vulnerability review and OpenSSF scorecard monitor review. For vulnerability, I don't think we have anything. We don't have anything new. So it's good to go.
Yep.
OpenSSF scorecard monitor review. Ulysses didn't join today, and let me see. We have one issue open, but it's from March. And let me see if we don't have pull requests updating the scorecard, so I assume it will be skipped this time. Then we go to the Node.js/Node. We have WDAC integration. Robert, hello. Do you want to talk about it? Anything you want for us?
And no, not much in terms of updates. I've gone through and addressed all the feedback that I've received since the last one, but I want to make sure it runs through a successful CI build before pinging the commenters again. I've been chasing down a problem, or there seems to be something with the formatter, the C++
Yeah.
formatter that seems to be acting up. When running the command to fix it, or the failure message includes a command to fix it on my local repository, and I've tried running it, and it seems like the git merge command does not identify the correct merge base. Like, it picks an ancestor from like a year or two ago that's not the correct common ancestor, and then the
Uh,
tool fails. So I'm not sure if there's a different, but like the commit hash that it identifies on my local repository is not the same as the commit hash in when it's running on the CI machine. So I'm a little confused as what's going on there. We don't need to debug it now. I'll probably follow up with some people in the Slack channel to see if they can take some time to look at it with me.
yeah,
But
try to rebase because I can see that you have rebase or merge main into
yeah,
WLDP
that was
integration.
Yeah, I did that earlier because that was like one of the GitHub like just fix it in the browser type of things with a
Uh-huh.
merge conflict, and I thought that would be the easy way to do it, and I think that might have caused some problems. So I'll go ahead and try to uh, I'll just try to squash all like the commits in my in this PR into kind of one commit and see if that fixes it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's a good
Okay.
idea. The other thing too is if your local copy of main is not up to date, like is not synced with what you like, you might have to like from looking at it, it's basically saying, it's starting with head main. So maybe it's like you need to sync that your local copy of main
Yeah,
up. The
yeah, I've
other
been.
thing that might work too is to actually specify, like look in your list of commits
Mhm.
and specify the one which is just before your commit start.
Okay. Okay.
I
I'll do
like
that and
there is some
follow up.
funniness. I know in one of the PRs I did recently, like I ran it and it flagged a bunch of stuff were in files I didn't even change,
Hmm.
but I
Yeah, that's
removed those and then the CI was happy.
okay. All
So like
right.
as long as you get it to format the ones that you've changed and you
Yeah,
remove
yeah.
any other changes and you add those in a commit, I think then when it runs in the CI, it'll be happy.
Okay. I'll go ahead and do that then. But cool. Thank you. So with assuming that gets addressed, I think I'll ping Anon rig, and I think those are the last of the remaining comments. So yeah, cool. Thank you.
All right. Okay, moving on. We have the review code scanning alerts. This is an issue I have opened. And let me see one thing here because I remember, yes, we have some alerts, but I don't know if I can share the screen. I sent that there is a link in the issue, but I don't know if I share my screen, it will be leaking like some information. So I suggest to you to follow with me in the link.
Sense.
Most of them are detected on dApps. So I don't know if we should like try to upstream that or no.
I think like so what we've done for our Coverity, which is our long time running um uh like code static analysis, we've just excluded the dependencies, right? Like honestly, these unless this one's different, there can be a lot of false positives, and like for us to debug and figure out in all the dependencies which ones are valid and which ones aren't. Like I don't see that
Okay.
being a viable thing unless somebody's like got super amount of time and is really enthused. I would say like, yeah, depths we say they've
Okay.
done their
And
job or not, and then we focusing on the things that are in our actual code base.
okay. So I will dismiss those alerts with a comment at this point. We are ignoring dApps analysis.
Is there a way to configure the tool to do that? Like by default, so we don't get it when we like
Possibly,
upgrade V8 that now we got a whole bunch of new
possibly.
ones? Okay. That would
Yeah.
be, I think that would make the most sense. And then it would be like similar to what we've been doing historically and,
Okay. Just sent a message. Dismiss alert. We will dismiss it with want fix or false positive. I guess want fix, right?
if that's the best that we have, like it would be nicer if it
Yeah.
was there was something like other component or something, but
The options are false positive, used in tests, and want fix.
I guess, yeah, I don't know if anybody else has an idea, but you're probably right that won't fix is the closest.
Okay. Uh, just dismiss it once. Okay. We have okay, let me just dismiss this
Now, I
too.
will
So
say some of them, like if you look at,
no, I'm not dismissing all of them, just the ones in depths.
right, but I was even looking like in depths Ada.h. That
Okay.
one, Ada is, I think, is Ada underneath the
No, it's not on
no.
Node.js umbrella.
Okay. Yeah, just saying like if some are underneath the org, then those are ones that we could potentially, but
Mm-hmm.
in theory, I guess if we turn on code scanning for those repos, we'll get the notifications there, and that's
Yeah,
probably where we should deal with them,
that's
right?
the
So yeah,
point.
yeah.
So if you refresh, you see that there is the top one now is on benchmark, but
Yep.
I believe that this is we can dismiss then with used in tests because we don't ship that validation, which is okay. So let me dismiss used in tests. Uh, I wonder if there's a way to sort based on depths on the file. Maybe not.
Yeah, it seems to be most important, newest, oldest, recently updated, and least recently updated, or severity. It also can be sorted based on rules.
Yeah, but the rules are like it could apply either to
Yeah.
depths or to or
Yeah, I don't, yeah, you're right. I don't see anything that talks about depths, unfortunately.
Okay. I'm just excluding some stuff. Dismissing some alerts. Okay. Want to fix. We have many, so I don't think we can do that. All of them today. So I will keep doing, but let me check. Okay.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Okay. Now we have some good stuff. If you refresh, you can see some one thing
Yep.
on doc, I guess.
I mean, some of the ones that like are use of a weak cryptographic key in a test, right? Like that's kind of been, I'm sure those
Yeah.
are on purpose, right? Like we're not using them
Yeah.
to protect anything. So I feel comfortable that those could be dismissed.
Okay. Now I think we have most of them on the alerts are not oh, I think we can go top to bottom now. We have some good stuff to talk about. Uh, Let me just refresh my page. Okay. We have one, which is the issue 5777,
Yep.
vulnerabilities. And it's a list of public CVEs or GitHub vulnerabilities that were found on Node.js, but I don't know if they are applicable. Um, there is no file associated with this alert, and
Yeah, and like I looked at one, which then like here, I'm gonna paste the link into the chat. I'm not quite sure how that applies.
you sent directly the message directly to me. I'm sending
Okay,
the chat.
sorry. I hate the way it changes it to direct messages without you asking.
Okay, brace.
So there, that should get to everybody else. Right, like when you look at the NPM versions that are affected and where it's patched, like none of our current versions are anything close to that.
No, it's not on npm, but it's on the package. That's the version of the
Oh
package
yeah,
that is.
okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, right.
But anyway,
Hmm.
it's this shows the vulnerabilities, but doesn't tell us which part of the code we are using that, or because it was detected on the bump of the scorecard action, which is something odd because maybe this is a vulnerability on the in the scorecard action. I think it's safe to ignore it.
I don't think I
I
would
was
just
supposed to.
ignore it, but like we can leave it as a list as something later to look at because it's going to be more complicated to figure out if this is valid or not.
Okay. Right. Moving on, we have token permissions for time zone update. Um, I think that's expected because This we should create the pull request action.
I guess
I
it's, so
can.
is it, what is it? Is it helping us like,
This is just because of the. Let me try to
I guess what it's saying to
analyze.
us though is that we should set it at a different level.
No, I think it's just to check the GitHub token to restrict the permission. I'm using step security now to see what can be changed. Let me check. Um, hardened runner, I don't want. This one, no. Dependency review. Recommend. There's no suggestions from step security, so it assumes that this is okay. Yeah, they have some troubles.
On the job, yeah, kind of looks like it's on the job, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in the job.
Says maybe it's because there's multiple levels of right.
I don't think so. It's just that depending on considering the permissions of this job, if someone creates a pull request that changes this job and push to the local branch something, it will be possible in a new branch, not to the main, for instance. I think that's the. We have a top level permission for content.
Like, I mean, it might be possible instead of just right, maybe like it's contents right or something. I don't know.
The contents right is to push the local changes, and the pull request right is to create the pull request. It's required by the action.
Yeah, I think what I understand it saying is that instead of just saying right, we could say write something much more specific,
But
right? Like,
that,
what does it actually need to write? And there's like, if I'm looking at this page, here's the page. So like this ends up creating a pull request, right?
and pushing local branches.
So like it would need potentially write for pull requests, and it might also need write for content,
Yeah.
but it wouldn't necessarily need write for actions.
Yeah, but if we don't explicitly say right to actions, they won't have access to actions because if you look to the workflow at the top level, we have permission read, which is defining all the other permissions to read.
Yeah, I guess I'm still thinking what it's saying is that line 16 is basically saying, well, maybe not. So maybe 15 and 16 are specific rights. Yeah, so okay, so now that I see it's not just general, it's specific to contents and pull requests, like, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that does look right. When was that report generated? That might be, I wonder if there's Says that was generated an hour ago. So yeah, okay, I now agree. I don't understand why it's reporting anything.
Almost finishing the want fix to dApps. The next one is the token permission for the license builder. I think it would fall in the same category, but I didn't check yet. Let me check. For the license builder, yes, it's the same problem. Check restrict permissions for GitHub token. Let me check. Analyze. Okay. Okay, that's pretty much the same. Yeah, and the suggestion from the code KL is also wrong because I have used and there is no remediation for that. Yeah, it seems wrong. Okay, the next one is branch protection. Branch protection settings apply to administrator is disabled on branch main. We do have branch protection.
That was open 2 years ago.
Okay.
I don't know if
No,
there's anything.
1 hour ago.
Well, okay, so
The 762.
right, but if I look under the list, so branch protection 762 opened 2 years ago. So
762, you mean?
yeah, I'm looking at 762. The view I see in the summary list says
Okay.
open 2 years ago. So I wonder if like, yeah, it's updated, but maybe it was different. I don't know.
Yeah. I'll try to check with someone else to see how they are dealing with this false positives. Maybe we didn't configure the code KL properly. We are using the default configuration, but maybe we need to express different I don't know, permissions or configuration there. I think we can until I figure it out, we can moving on. I have dismissed all the alerts that are on the apps. So if you refresh, you see that it's fine now. Actually, all of the alerts are related to workflows. And that's it. Yeah. And moving on to our agenda, we have updates on CVs for end-of-life release lines. Marco, do you have any update on that? I think we are waiting for.
Yeah,
Many.
I think I think this process is gonna take some time, but I would say that on our side, this is concluded. Like we have handled him all the information that he need, and I reviewed already all of them that are published, and they look good. Um, like it's some of them are obviously non-applicable for some release line because if that feature did not exist at the time, but it's like we knew that like we couldn't get everything perfect, but I think it's fine.
Okay.
So should I merge the PR and
I would wait until the CVs are updated, because if they don't send any message, we will have the wrong information in the database.
okay, but I don't know which one are not updated because from what I can see, they are, because I went through almost all of them.
You mean the CVs on Mitri were updated?
I will double check which
Okay.
ones are missing, but there are not many. There's a very small number.
Yeah, it might make sense to, like, if there's 3 or 4, pull those out of this update and create a new one for those and then land the ones that have been updated. That make any sense?
Yes.
That way, like, our database is consistent with what's up there, and we won't forget that there's that smaller number that needs still to be updated.
Yeah, so 60, so 80 of them are updated. I think around 10, 12 are missing. So not many. Yeah, they are 97 total, and 80 of them are updated. So it's 17 missing from Mitre.
Okay.
So yeah, I think maybe moving those 17 to another PR would be a way to get the first ones landed anyway, right?
Yeah.
Just in
Yes.
case, like, you want to merge that, but if you want to wait, I'm fine.
Or
either.
just wait, yeah, like,
Oh, it's fine. I can wait. No problem. But yeah, it's gonna probably take a while given the situation of Mitre.
Sorry?
Right now they're not very responsive with any CV updates, so it's gonna
Okay.
take a while.
Okay. Yeah. I think in the next session, if we don't have any update on this, we can possibly I don't know, send a message or merge the ones that were migrated, and like, just ask for the 17 again.
Yeah, sounds good. I will ping Ben like maybe next week and see if there are some news on this, and then we can decide next steps.
Okay.
Also, it's something worth noting is that these changes did not propagate, for example, to NVD yet. So if you go on cv.org, you will see the correct range, but if you query on NVD, you will not see the ranges update. So it's like generally this moves very slowly. These things move slowly.
Okay.
It's gonna take a while.
Okay. But we don't there is no action from our side, right?
No.
Okay. All right. Moving on to the OpenJS security compliance checker. I was not here last in the last session, so I don't know what has changed. I know that Ulysses did some change to to the the issue, but I still want to talk with him to see if the list is now up to date, and it doesn't make sense. Just to check if it does make sense to the Node.js project, because last time we verified most of these checks. They were not like they didn't make sense for us as Node.js org to check or to apply them. So I would defer that to talk to defer this discussion to talk with Ulysses so he can propagate our thoughts to open necessary. Okay. Now we have the Node.js maintainers threat model, which is something that we are almost done, if I remember correctly. We have just the social engineering and malicious code in NPM. Let me check one thing here. Yes. Good. Just updated. Let me just check if we have something else to talk in the agenda. The threat model. Okay, we have the out build for dependencies, which is Michael. Do you have any?
Yeah, I just added like I still have updating the Amaro build part, but it's not on the top of my list yet.
Okay. And for the automation of the secret release process, I'm doing a secret release for a long time, and currently the process is on a stage which I can say, okay, it's done. It always can be improved, of course, but I would close this issue as concluded now. We did a lot of progress, and now just one person is could do a secret release, and I'm happy with the results so far. So, of course, we can find some bugs, but I believe that the major objective was concluded. So, does someone object on this?
No, I'd agree, although I think like, is it the releaser who runs this, or the like, would it be
Secret release steward.
The steward, right? So I think like, I think we need some education for the other stewards.
Yeah, I have updated the security release process with a full documentation of which commands they should run for each
Okay.
step. So if they just read and follow the commands, I think they shouldn't have an issue.
Okay, well, we can see like if somebody does one and then they have
Yeah.
questions, you're available to
We
help.
can reopen that in any case.
Yeah, I don't, that's the only, you know, I don't think we've had anybody but you run through it, right? Is the only.
Yeah.
the only
I
thought
think
have.
Marco
So
did
probably
it.
people might have a question or, but.
I think Marco ran the secret release once with me with the automation.
Yes.
Okay. And yeah, if you both of you are like, hey, just read the instructions and it should all be good, then we can try that. So.
Okay, closing as completed, but of course, if in the future someone tries it and find, okay, it's something missing, we can reopen, of course. So let me. Okay, now we have the threat model. I have opened the hack MD. Most of the table, if not all, were migrated to the maintenance threat model. I'm sending in the chat. So I think this document is almost done. I think we might be missing some uh, attack vectors, for instance, social engineering and things like that. But I think the current status is very good. We just need to to do like an update or to assess it, I don't know, every 3 months because things changed and maybe the permissions are not the same
I
as
think
past
what we
months.
need to do now is then do the cross product of the data and say, well, is this good everywhere, right? Like, is what people have access to what we think they should have access to? Is like that was kind of the end goal is like, hey, okay, so we have where is it like where are the people or what are the I'm just looking at our table of like what we want to find is like people who have access to where is it? People who have no access. I think that one will probably find like, yeah, that's good. But okay, collaborators. Is everything the collaborators have access and are able to do, is that what we expect?
Yes,
Or
yes.
should we somehow
Okay.
restrict privileges because they really don't need that and
Okay.
we've given them more than they need?
Okay,
I think
I think I
that's
got
sort
your
of the
point.
closeout part.
Yeah, I believe that the first step, which is documenting all the
Yep,
stuff, is can be considered concluded. And
correct.
now the second phase is to evaluate all those permissions, all these permissions, to see if it's expected or we
Yep,
should change something.
yep.
Okay. So, what do you think? Should we create a new issue for that and consider the maintenance threat model concluded as it's just a documentation?
I think the model kind of needs that last part that says, we've got these three things and here's how we apply it and this is what it tells us, right? Because
Okay,
that's kind of the
so
important part.
let's use the same issue then.
Sure, yeah, I mean,
The first step of this initiative is done, documenting the access group and some attack vectors. The
right,
second
I guess what it
second
is
step.
we can go and say like, okay, who could cause malicious release binary generation, right?
Uh-huh.
And based on the like what access you need, and then based on who has that access, we can then say, yeah, okay, we're comfortable with everybody who could do that. It's reasonable for them to have that level of access.
Okay. So the first step of this initiative is done, documenting the access
Yep.
per group and some attack vectors. The second step is to evaluate the permissions of each role to see if we should restrict some ends. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it's like if we go through each of the threats, because we've said what is the minimum access needed to be able to like get malicious code into the code base. And so we should be able to take the minimum access and then from the other two tables tell us who had like we have the access per group. That should be able to tell us, well, who can actually do that, right?
Okay. Good. Amazing. So for the HackMD, we can just ignore now. And then the next step, or for the next meetings, we are going to we are going to read the table in the security working group, and then we evaluate. So, for instance, in the next session, we are going to evaluate the threats. The first one is the malicious code in the Node.js code base, and see if we spot some mistake or something like that, right?
Yeah, I think we can manually go through and say like, okay, given what access is there, who can do that? And sort of validate that we've got all the pieces of information. After that, we might want to try and figure out if we can write a script or something which would automate that, right? Because it's going to be, well, I think we'll see how hard it is. Maybe it's easier than I'm thinking and we just do it by hand, but doing one by hand, I think makes sense regardless.
Okay. Okay, sounds good to me. Um, besides that, do you have any other suggestions? I think we are good. To be honest, I think I want to have time to jump into this now. We should defer that to the next week, to the next session. So
Yeah, I
I
think
think
that
that's
makes
the end
sense.
of our agenda. That's the end of our agenda. Uh, any other question? Any other topic someone wants to bring to the meeting before we close out? No? All right. So that's the end of our agenda. Thank